explain myself perfect. What an introduction again. So yeah, it was already introduced quite well, human by design. And when I saw this first, it was like, okay, this is a fluffy topic, because we heard it before. But when I started having a conversation with Mauro before this to prepare this, I was like, wow. Because first of all, explain in one or two sentences, what is your company all about? What have you created?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. Well, we created something that is actually in this convergence between physical intelligence and artificial intelligence with sports application. In our case, a smart boxing bag.
Exactly.
We call it the first boxing bag with a brain. But it's a product that can actually sit and occupy different niches. So don't think about it as just a tool to help boxers or kickboxers or what have you, but a tool that can actually be used in military applications, in medical applications, we were talking about interactive experiences in museums, so a wide range of applications.
Exactly. Why does the world need this? What was the problem?
What was the problem? Well, the center of the problem is motivation.
You heard already someone in the audience having a wrist, a smart device, not using it.
Yes, I love the question and I love the answer, because that's what we are trying to fix, right? The thing is, and we were talking about this, if you look at the gym setting, a health club, 40 to 65% of those users will churn, will drop out in the first 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
So we are not biologically wired to choose to exercise. In the past, we would exercise to hunt, to forage, or to escape predators. That was it. And we bring that DNA to the 21st century and to the era of AI and intelligence. So the thing is, how can we bring, but on the other hand, the motivation wiring is also there. So the thing is, how can we tap into that motivation? Because it is possible. We have the numbers that prove that people can exercise for longer, much longer. The lifetime of our members is close to 2 years compared with the 3 to 6 months of a general health club, just by understanding human behavior, human motivation. So that's the problem we started out by solving. And in our case, we started by creating this hardware and training the algorithms and so on.
Exactly. So you see already boxing bags have been around for a very long time. And I think I've actually I had one at home at some point. And yeah, it requires your own motivation. And now where there's sort of a number of things colliding at the same time that makes it possible to get this behavioral change and actually people to want to sport on that. I want to go back a little bit about how it all started, because this started 12 years ago. Explain what happened.
Well, 12 years ago, I actually had a very vivid dream about this product. Remember, 12 years ago, AI was not a thing, machine learning was not a thing, embedded systems and sensors were in their infancy, and I was dreaming like a literal dream, sleeping at night, about a product that would not only capture a lot of data, but would actually, in my dream, the bag at some point transformed into a person. And this is the V3 of the bag, because we are now connected augmented reality. So not only we have the data, not only we have actionable feedback based on human psychology and behavioral change, like we can go screenless. You can be completely immersed. The bag can become what you want.
Wow.
So that's where we are going with the next gen of the equipment. But that started as a dream 12 years ago, a dream that felt differently, that stuck with me, and
yeah.
And I think I am just very stubborn and never
Well,
give
talk
up.
about that, you know, the grit to get here, because 12 years is 12 years, and like you said, it was a completely different era. Was it so hard to just create a bag?
Well, I think that the hardest part, remember at the stage the technology was when we first started.
Yeah.
So the first 6 years of this journey were in my garage, literally. So garage founder with my pocket money, you know. I am a non-tech founder, meaning I lack a lot of the skills to actually, or all of the skills to build a technology product. So we started by iterating on the bag itself and make it having a human feel to it.
Yeah.
So now it's a multi-layered bag. Of course, now it has embedded technology, but it's a multi-layered bag that each layer mimic different tissues in our body. So it actually feels like you are hitting something organic or biological. So those were the first iterations while keep selling the dream.
Yeah.
Our current COO was a non-believer for many, many years and refused to be the COO many, many times, now invests in every round. So somehow I was able to sell the dream, sell the vision. So, but those first years were very hard, you know, as you can imagine, a lot of disbelief.
Yeah.
Then we did the first pilot with just a piece of the technology with some external partners. And then we had COVID. And then we were faced with a decision, are we going full in? Are we giving up? Fortunately, I went in. I had one of our clients saying, hey, you should fundraise. You should look for venture capital. And I was like, what's that? So he kind of gave me a quick lesson, and I catch up on that, and I mean, went and...
Exactly.
We ended up by raising the biggest seed for a fintech startup in the world. So
How much?
10 million euros for a seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is for yeah, in that world, it's for startups, it's a lot.
Now for AI, it's nothing.
Exactly. Well, but let me bring it to that, because I mean, this whole conference is about AI, and it's been last year as well. But it's all the stories it's going into software companies, SaaS companies, big tech companies, and so on. You actually said in the preparations for this, $1 trillion, $1 trillion in AI and SaaS investment will be obliterated over the next year, because there's a next wave that not many people see. Bring us on.
Yes, that's not only belief, but that's already being backed by data.
Yeah.
Well, first, a lot of AI that is coming out today, occupying SaaS space, is already destroying value that was created years ago.
Yeah.
But then the iteration cycles are faster and faster and faster, that we believe that a lot of the companies being built today will disappear in the next few months.
Yeah.
So we believe that the biggest moat and the biggest wave that is to come is the convergence between artificial intelligence and objects, and objects that can interact in the real world. And when you have AI protected by hardware, the moat is much more defensible, even from a perspective of an investor. Hardware is hard. I'm not here saying it's not. No. It even has the word hard on it. So building hardware that lasts is very, very hard. But once you do it, you are much more future-proofed than just a SaaS company. Of course, there are a lot of exceptions. But we believe in a world, and I just came 3 days ago from China, from Beyond Expo, the biggest robotic event, I think, happening right now. And I was immersed in intelligent objects for 3 days, from fully autonomous robots to trainable dogs. So imagine you can now buy a dog, a robot dog, and train it at home. It can learn skills. So this is the future that is coming, is the big next wave. It's intelligence all around us, intelligence on our wrists, intelligent cars, intelligent houses, intelligent sports apparel, boxing bags, you name it.
Yeah, like you say, there's a number of things coming together. I happened to write, I wrote a book called The Remarkable Effects a couple of years ago, and the funny thing is, it's a story from me going from my hometown at that point in time in Gabia, on the east coast here, to a place called Nazaré in Portugal. Not sure whether you know Nazaré, but Nazaré happens to have a couple of has one big wave, and that big wave you think is okay, maybe like here or there, it's 30 meters at some days. And it's because a couple of things come together, which is exactly what Tamaro is just talking about. There's
Nazaré Canyon, right?
There's a canyon going out 600 kilometers in the sea. Canyon is about 2.5 times bigger than the Grand Canyon, so deep. And then the water is just pumped out and it's coming out at that single place. That's what's happening these days with what the AI revolution. And like you say, it is not only about if you're building a software company or building a company, it's like adding an AI feature to your product. It's changing the way business is done. It's changing, like you say, the differentiation, the moat that we're building on. And what you want to protect at the end is, and every company needs that, you need differentiation. So how do you protect this differentiation in a world where what you used to work on for 2 years is now going to be recreated in days, possibly weeks, or maybe even a month, but still a fraction. So this is a real thing to think about. How do you build a moat that sticks, that you can actually build on? And I wanted to, one of the things that I recently also wrote about on to my audience is the differentiation is being attacked by 3 different angles. First of all, is the relevancy of your differentiation changes. The second thing is the defensibility of it, which is the shrinking of the time. And then the last one is the durability. How is your business capable of keeping it actually expanding? These are things we all need to think about, and I think we don't do a lot of it. So that's why I'm really happy that you brought the topic up. And as you said, the differentiation of your own product and own company is also built on that. And I want to pick on that a little bit. So you said one thing. I deliberately chose to do the hardware because there's the word hard in it. But everything you've been doing and what you've been telling me is about, I choose to go and do the hard thing first.
Yes.
Because that's where the differentiation lies. Can you give a couple of examples?
Well, again, it took us a lot of time to come to the stage where we are at. We are in an intersection stage. We are transitioning from a hardware-based company or startup to a software AI company that is growing.
True.
So we needed to build the hard things first, meaning the product, the hardware. We are a design-first company. So that made it extremely hard, or harder, because we didn't want to compromise design for functionality. So the design needed to be appealing so that everyone wanted to have one of these objects.
There's 2 things here to it. First of all, it's the bag. And I mean, if you build a bag for boxers or kickboxers, it's going to be tested.
Yes.
So that was one thing. But what you actually said to me is that you want the bag to be so beautiful that we all want to buy one and put it into our living room rather than our garage.
Exactly.
Which is also about no compromise.
And that was no compromise, but that, so first, yes, so it has over 300 different components,
Exactly.
And it's made to be hit. So everything that could break in V1 was breaking in about 2 months of usage. Yeah. So it was a nightmare. Fortunately, we fixed everything in V2, and we are now moving for V3, which will be future-proofed for the next few years.
Yeah.
So it's a very robust object. It's we have it used 14 hours a day straight without breaking for months in a row. So we are now very, very confident. Yeah. But on the other hand, since we didn't want to compromise on design, that means that, for example, the 3D computer vision camera, it's in an odd angle. So to train our AI algorithm, so that you have an idea, we can now process a strike in 300 milliseconds. We can train avatars of the technique of any famous MMA fighter or boxing in the world. So you can actually play bout, that's how we call it, by imitating your idol, let's say Ilia Topuria, to say someone from that trains out of Spain, or Usyk, or whoever it is. But to train that algorithm with the camera in an odd angle was a big challenge. It took us 2 years to have a breakthrough finally. And now that we know the road, of course, it gets easier and faster and faster. But to get the breakthrough was 2 years of work, yeah, because we are a design-first company.
Yeah, I mean, you already hear what has been done in a different way. I call it like the remarkable thing. It's worth making a remark about the moment you see it, you experience it, and so on. And another thing that comes up here, people will think about in the audience, you know, you create a bag, you put so much effort in it, and then you're going to sell it to boxers. But you found a way to actually segment the market in so many different angles that you can always touch a new use case, which happens to broaden your market space. I mean, first of all, which one did you choose first, and how does it help you to just grow the total addressable market here?
So I think everyone has at least have heard of Peloton. And in the early stages, we were compared always to Peloton, which was a personal offense to me. I was always saying, no, please don't do that, because we are so different. Their strategy is to have different products, you know, a treadmill, a bike, this and that. Our vision and our strategy is completely different. It's to have one hardware with different software applications and occupying completely different niches. Yeah. So we started by what we call the Bout Studios. So think about them as micro gyms, boutique studios with 16 bags, very small footprint, around 200 square meters, but very profitable because we can put up to 800 paying members and with EBITDAs above 50%. So we already have like 6, and this is the year where we are expanding internationally, open the United States, Brazil, Chile, UAE. So our footprint is expanding globally this year. It's catching up. This year we are all in B2B, meaning that we are selling the product with a different software and different content, both to offices. So LinkedIn will be equipping their offices with our products. Cool. To big box gyms. I had a good discussion with the UFC. They will have this in all the UFC gyms. That's a no-brainer, but normal gyms can use this. It's for most people more fun to hit something than to run on a treadmill. We were also discussing that the original treadmill was actually designed as a torture device, not something healthy. Yeah. So that's the second wave. Third wave will be consumer. I think that's the biggest wave, but we need to lower the CAC before we go into consumer. Consumer, although we have organic leads every day, and we've partnered with Netflix and with the UFC and with WOW FC here from Spain, we need that awareness to go into consumer. But we were also invited already by 3 different countries to explore applications in military, so to help military personnel be trained using our products. And we are actually doing a pilot study with the bag to treat Parkinson's disease with the leading research team in the world. Because the boxing bag was always a staple, but it was done bag. So for now we have data, we have actionable data.
See what it means here? You see one particular device and multiple use cases that all have their own value proposition and can actually expand the business as we go. So that argument, okay, but I don't want to do any hardware, I think falls away with that. We're out of time. I'd like to kind of ask you one thing that from the lessons that you've learned so far, what would be a do and what would be a don't that you'd like to give the audience, entrepreneurs that aspire something like you?
The do is don't compromise.
There you go.
If you have a vision, I don't know how, we were talking about this, how many board meetings and I don't know how many investors I lost because I was not compromising on the vision. Okay. I don't want to build a mediocre product. I want to build an exceptional one. Either I build an exceptional one or I don't. So that's the do. The don't, please don't burn out as I did. Try to break a little bit earlier. I've reconstructed myself since then, but it was a very hard time in my life. To find balance, I am not balanced at all. I'm either all in or all out, but I'm trying to find balance now. In retrospective, I could have done it a little bit earlier.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much for sharing this. I think we all get some lessons from this. Give him a big applause.
Thank you.